Morning, my mates. Sorry for the delay as we spoke yesterday. Another weekend here. A bit ridiculous, but anyway. Okay, so looking through our reviews there, both drills worked really, really, really well. Okay, so you have to understand, and obviously you're struggling with this driver, right? But you have to understand that if you keep going back to trying to find something, all right, so you do your drills, whatever, they're not feeling great, and then you go, no, let me sort of try and find a feel, and then you hit some nice ones out the middle of the face. Okay, then we're not going to get anywhere, all right, because it's too comfortable for you, and you must start to understand this, all right? It's too comfortable for you to kind of slide the hips, drop this club way inside, and then flick the face, right? Now, because of good footwork, hand-eye coordination, and most importantly, a lovely release, okay, you do hit some good ones. We know that. Okay, we're not saying you never hit good ones, but we can't play like that. All right, that's the whole point. We can't play like it because we don't know where the ball's going to go. All right, some will go sort of straight, but we can't just sort of hit the ball sort of straight. All right, and then the misses. Once you miss it, the dispersion of the misses is way too wide. Okay, so we just have to push through it. Right, we just have to push through it. It's going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be some shitty ones. Just got to push through it. Right, so both those drills worked really, really nicely. Okay, so interesting with the L2L drill that, you know, it wasn't an L shape, but it was like sort of a three-quarter swing. And again, that comes again down to the very, very late set. Okay, so you're not going to get to an L shape if you're already here, because by the time you L, you're almost hands at head height. Okay, but that doesn't matter. That's actually okay, right? As long as you do set it. Right, so I'm not phased about that, right? And then the shoulder plane drill worked really, really well, really, really well. Now, from there, do you know where the golf club is? Can you match the downswing? No, not always, but that's just at first. That's just going to be a week, and it'll get better and better and better. All you have to do, and it looked like in your videos, you are a little bit more aware of when you hit the middle of the face or the toe or the heel. Very few, if any, tops. So if you top it, okay, it means it's coming out the heel, not out the bottom of the club. All right, we can see that downswing sometimes still a little bit thrusty, and I think that's the bigger reason why the L2Ls and the three-quarter shoulder plane drills didn't have better results. It's mostly because of the downswing, right? Which is why I've added in this week that right shoulder feel. So you had that feel of that right shoulder down. Now what you can see, or you should be able to see in that, so what I'm doing to show you is just trying to sort of keep my right shoulder working down, but what you should be able to see in camera is, oh, hold on a second, that's the same shoulder plane I'm trying to create on the back, because I can't swing here. Okay, so it ties into exactly what we're doing. Right, okay, so that is also the same reason and the difference between the 3-wood and the driver. Okay, so the 3-wood, little shorter, little better shoulder plane. I also felt just kind of stronger and neater. Whereas driver, shoulder plane gets flat, club gets across there. 3-wood there. And what does that translate to? It translates to 3-wood attacking the ball from there, driver attacking the ball from here. Okay, we just got to push through it. Right, so we're doing those same drills. We're going to add in, you'll see in your notes there, the L2Ls, sorry, the shots and hold we're going to add in, but with sort of the different clubs, so we're working up to it, because that's to do with the takeaway and the face instead of fanning it open. Yeah? Okay, and we're just going to do those same drills. They worked really, really, really well. Okay. We will learn to hit the ball from there, and when we learn to hit the ball from there, then it's going to be better. Then the ball's going to go there instead of there. Okay, anyway, right, rambling. You should be used to it by now. Right, so into our warm-up. So we got all our notes. We're happy with that. Explanation. Just learning the same things in more depth, really. Okay, and sort of how they feel. Okay, right, so we're almost going to do these helicopters. Okay, now start adding in the shoulder plane to your helicopter. So it must be there, and then it can't be there. Okay, there. Right shoulder down. Left shoulder down, right shoulder down. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, there's your helicopters. Okay, and then your pivots, same thing. These look good, by the way. There, and then there. Okay, just got to do a lot of them. All right. Okay, so then from there we're doing our shuts and holds. Okay, so we're doing different clubs. Right. Shut, hold. Again, if you start to slide, you're going to hit a few mishits, a few blocks. It's got to be shut. Nice posture. Hold. You can see the head and the right shoulder down. All right, and just get comfortable with them. But we're adding in, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, we're adding in 3-wood and driver to the shut and hold drill. Okay, it doesn't have to be full swings, it can be half, little 3/4 swings, but shut face, and then hold it going down. Okay, if a couple go left, that's fine. Actually means we're on the right track. All right, so don't worry about that. Focus more on when you're doing the drills on consistent striking. It won't be consistent yet. That's the focus. Yeah. Okay. And then our first draw is L to L again. Loved it. Okay, absolutely loved it. L to L. All right, and just focusing on the middle. Where's the middle of the club? All right. If we get in here, we're going to hit toes and blocks. Okay. If we get over there, we're going to hit heels. So just go to L to L, middle of the club. Okay. It was not L to L, but you get the point. You get the point. Okay. I like the positions of the L to L. I like the set. And then I love the positions of the shoulder plane. All right. So then the 3/4 shoulder plane drill, same again. All right. And then your focus is finding the middle of the club face with that new feel. Okay. Don't go back to comfort and hit a couple out the middle. It's not going to help us. All right. Okay. So the feels we're after. When I say space, what I'm saying is space on the downswing. Okay. So don't get yourself cramped and narrow. Yeah. And then that right shoulder feel that we had a few weeks ago. That's the feel we want. Right. The backswing feels that you want when you're doing the shoulder plane, okay, is to feel more upright. Okay, so that's kind of what it, excuse me, that's kind of what it's going to feel like. Okay, not getting tall and flat like that. All right. Okay, so that's our work. All right. What I want to do, okay, so don't get sort of overwhelmed by all of this. Okay, I like to explain. I like you to know everything. Okay, it doesn't mean we're thinking about that when we swing. We just know. All right. But what I want to do now is start translating, giving you your explanations, your video reviews, your drills, and then translating that. Okay, when you're doing this drill, this is what it must feel like to you. Okay, so you do a couple of drills, but if you try and find that feel and go, okay, cool, that's what it should feel like. If it feels like that, then that's where my body and the club are going to be. But you simplify it to a feel. But you've got to do your drill to find that feel. All right, and then obviously you play with those feels. But basically what I want to do for the next few weeks is lead you more towards feels when you're practicing. Okay, not shortcuts and fixes and comfort, just feels. This is what it should feel like to you. That's what it should feel like. And I think you're going to just learn and develop much easier and much better that way. Okay, so we're going to try that out over the next few weeks. Yes, explain it. Yes, know it. Yes, drills. But then translate that to a feel. And then you can simplify it to a feel. Okay. Thank you, my mates. Enjoy. I know you've read through that already anyway, so you've got a good idea, but there's your explanation. Have a good session. Have a good week. Hope the finger better. And we'll chat during the week. All right. See you later, mate.